7 key elements to help parents develop social skills, enhance quality of life, and personal value. Dear parents, have you ever found it difficult to connect with those around you, whether colleagues, friends, or even your own loved ones? Social skills are not only essential for success in the workplace, but they also bring greater meaning and happiness to our personal lives. When we, as parents, take the initiative to cultivate and enhance these skills, our quality of life and self-worth will undoubtedly be elevated. So how can we truly develop social skills effectively? The first important step is finding harmony and balance from within. Good social skills mean that you, as parents, are able to build and maintain healthy relationships, resolve conflicts, and foster meaningful connections. In today's discussion, we'll explore 7 crucial factors that influence the development of social skills: self-esteem, self-control, assertiveness, conversation skills, persuasion, empathy, and finally, your presence in the eyes of others. Let's dive deeper into each of these elements. Understanding social skills. First, we must understand the true nature of social skills. They are the tools that help parents connect with others effectively and meaningfully. While each of us may be born with different strengths in communication, social skills are fundamentally something we can all learn and improve over time. Many people mistakenly think social skills are merely surface-level communication techniques. In reality, they go much deeper. To truly master these skills, the core lies in achieving inner peace, harmony, and emotional balance. When you are grounded within, your ability to communicate and connect with the external world becomes more natural and genuine. Having social skills doesn't mean you must be extroverted, outgoing, or have thousands of followers on social media. What truly matters is your ability to build and sustain positive relationships. In other words, it's the art of avoiding unnecessary conflict while nurturing healthy, long-lasting bonds. Scientific studies have also shown that individuals with strong social skills tend to enjoy more career success, higher incomes, and greater happiness. So, what forms the solid foundation of social skills? Self-esteem, the foundation of confidence. The first and perhaps most fundamental factor is self-esteem. A person with self-esteem values themselves, accepts who they are, including both strengths and weaknesses. This is very different from arrogance or the need to impose one's thoughts on others. Nor does it mean blind obedience or passively accepting everything. Properly understood, self-esteem is the ability to view oneself objectively and feel comfortable and at peace with who you are. Parents need to believe they are worthy of good things in life. With healthy self-esteem, you can more easily forgive yourself for mistakes and know how to love and care for yourself. In short, to have good relationships with others, you must first have a good relationship with yourself. Self-control, mastering your emotions. Next, let's talk about self-control. Many people mistakenly think self-control means suppressing or hiding emotions in all situations. But that's not the case. True self-control is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions in a healthy way, without harming yourself or others. When you have self-control, you can voluntarily set reasonable boundaries for your behavior. You actively develop mechanisms and strategies to stay within those limits, even when emotions run high. This is a critical factor in developing social skills because it places the responsibility for managing emotions and actions on yourself, not on blaming others or waiting for external circumstances to change. Assertiveness, strength in communication. Another key factor is assertiveness. Assertiveness is closely related to how we communicate and express ourselves. It's the ability to express your opinions, needs, and feelings clearly and directly while still being respectful and not hurting others. This is a skill that must be learned and practiced continuously. No one is born naturally assertive. If you were lucky enough to grow up in a family with assertive role models, such as your parents or grandparents. You might have picked it up from them. But even without that background, assertiveness can still be developed through the way you choose your words and articulate your ideas and emotions with clarity, accuracy, and empathy toward others. Conversation skills. The art of connection. So what about conversation skills? This is where social skills become most visible. A conversation is not just about exchanging information, it's about sharing ideas, feelings, and building connection. It's closely tied to the assertiveness we just discussed. A good conversation is one that flows naturally, is coherent, and balanced between speaking and listening. Participants genuinely want to share and hear each other's thoughts. They express themselves sincerely while also being fully attentive to others, without trying to dominate or prove a point. It's a delicate dance of mutual exchange and understanding. Persuasion. Creating positive influence. Let's now consider persuasion. Persuasion is the ability to positively influence others' beliefs, attitudes, intentions, and behaviors. It's a complex skill because it involves both psychological and ethical dimensions. Great leaders often possess this skill at a high level. Healthy persuasion is not about force or manipulation. It's based on mutual agreement, personal credibility, moral authority, and the principle of reciprocity. The key is that the listener accepts what you say because they trust your sincerity, reasoning, and integrity. You persuade others to follow your suggestions because you believe in them yourself and lead by example. Empathy. Understanding from the heart. We can't talk about social skills without mentioning empathy, one of its most solid foundations. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to understand and respect their feelings. It's difficult to build meaningful relationships without being able to empathize with what others are going through. Interestingly, people who are truly empathetic don't just understand others, they also radiate that empathy outward. Highly empathetic individuals are often well-liked wherever they go because empathy allows them to recognize, appreciate, and respect diversity and differences among people. Presence. The impression you create. Finally, let's explore presence, the impression you make on others when they are with you. In other words, how do people feel when they interact with you? This is often what we casually refer to as someone having a good vibe or not. You've likely met people who, after just a few minutes of conversation, leave you feeling drained or exhausted. But there are others who bring a sense of peace and ease. This sense of presence depends heavily on your internal attitude, your expectations, conscious and unconscious demands placed on others. A peaceful, open, and positive mindset creates a pleasant and magnetic presence. Dear parents, making the effort to improve your social skills is truly a worthwhile journey. As these skills grow, so will your quality of life. Instead of focusing solely on your relationships with others, try looking inward first. Observe and understand yourself. Ask yourself, among the 7 factors we've just discussed, which one do I most need to strengthen in order to build better social relationships? When you actively develop these skills, you don't just elevate your own personal value, you also become a shining example, guiding your children in learning and cultivating these essential skills for their own future.